Hello students, welcome to 8th Standard English online classes. Today I would like to explain the prose lesson Sir C.V.RAMAN of Unit 2. Dear children, before going to the lesson, here there is a activity. ILA means introductory listening activity. Here now I will read a passage. You should listen to it properly. Then you should understand the passage and you should answer the following questions. Okay. And here, and the title of this passage is Kayakave Kailasa. Bhaskara II. He was a famous scientist and a great poet. Okay, Bhaskara II. He was a famous scientist and he was also a great poet. He was a Kannadiga born in Vijayapura. Bhaskara II. He was a Kannadiga and he was born in Vijayapura. His birthplace is Vijayapura. And his father name is Maheshwaropadhyaya. Okay, his father was a learned mathematician. His father Maheshwaropadhyaya, he was a learned mathematician. Bhaskara's first teacher was his own father. Okay, here Bhaskara's first teacher was his own father, and his father name is Maheshwaropadhyaya. Bhaskara also invented Kala Chakra, means the time clock. Kala Chakra means the time clock. Okay, this is the passage, children. Now you should answer the following questions by understanding this passage. Hope so you people have understood this passage and you should do it as your homework. Now let's move on to the next activity, that is means introductory reading activity. Dear children, look at the pictures of great scientists given below. Okay, now let us identify them and mention at least one contribution of each of them in the field of science. And here the first picture is of Sir Isaac Newton. Okay, he was a mathematician, astronomer and also a physicist. Physicist means a person who is expert in physics. Okay, next picture, the second picture is of Marie Curie. Okay, she was a physicist as well as the chemist. Next is Homi Jahangir Bhabha. Okay, he was an Indian nuclear physicist. Next, the fourth picture is of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. Okay, he was an Indian scientist and he was also the innovator, widely regarded as the father of India's space program. Okay, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, he is regarded as the father of India's space program. Next, the fifth picture. The fifth picture is of Jagadish Chandra Bose. Okay, Jagadish Chandra Bose was also a physicist, biologist, biophysicist as well as botanist. Next, botanist means is expert in the scientific study of the plants. Next, the sixth picture. The sixth picture is of James Watt. Means he was a Scottish inventor, mechanical engineer and also chemist. Now let's move on to the next activity, and that is also means reading activity. Okay, here we should match the names of scientists in column A with their field of work in column B. Not match column A with their field of work in column B. And the first one is Homi Jahangir Bhabha. Homi Jahangir Bhabha field of work is nuclear physics. And next is Sir Isaac Newton. Sir Isaac Newton, field of work is laws of motion. Next is James Watt. James Watt, field of work is steam engine. Next, Marie Curie, and the field of work is radioactivity. Next is Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, and the field of work is space science. And next, J.C. Bose, and the sixth one is J.C. Bose, and his field of work is plant science. Now, dear children, let's move on to the prose. So, C.V.RAMAN. Okay, here this lesson, it gives the information about the early life, education and achievements of Sir C.V.RAMAN. Sir C.V.RAMAN, he was a great scientist. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for his work on scattering of light. Here, scattering of light means Raman scattering or the Raman effect is the inelastic scattering of photons by matter. Means that there is an exchange of energy and a change in the light's directions. And this is called as normal Stokes-Raman scattering. And his discovery of the effect of light rays, it is also called as Raman effect. And here the government, they have gifted Sir C.V.RAMAN 25 acres of land to carry out further, means more research work. Raman Institute was the dream child of Sir C.V.RAMAN. Okay, you can go through the pictures, dear children. Here, this is the Raman. In the fourth picture, you can see the Raman Research Institute. Glossaries. In this lesson, let's know the meanings of the words of this lesson. Give up, leave, stop or surrender. Secure means obtain. Put up with, bear or tolerate. Fish out of water. Fish out of water. This is the words of idioms. Give up and put up with, they are the phrasal verbs. Okay, fish out of water. Fish out of water means a person who feels uncomfortable or awkward because he or she feels he or she does not belong to the company he or she is in. Means tanna swabhavika vatavaranadinda ಹೊರಗಾದವನು. Next, sight means seen. Banner means a long piece of cloth with a message on that is carried between two poles or hung in public places. Nama phalaka antare kannadadalli. Put on means wear. Curiosity means eagerness. Voyage, journey by sea. Matriculation means equivalent to today's first year PUC, means pre-university course. Let's move on to the prose first para, dear children. Sir C.V.RAMAN. First, let me read the first para. Sir C.V.RAMAN was born on November 7, 1888 in Trichy. He was the son of Chandrasekhara Iyer and Parvati Ammal. Chandrasekhara Iyer was a professor of physics at Hindu College, Vishakhapatnam. Raman studied there at the Hindu College High School. He was very much interested in science from his boyhood days. Even as a boy, he had made the model of a dynamo. During his school days, he borrowed science books from college students and read them. Thus, from his early days, he showed great interest in science. Unfortunately, he used to fall sick every now and then, and he was not able to attend the school regularly. Here, Sir C.V. Raman, he was born on November 7th, 1888 in Trichy. Okay, when he was born on November 7th, 1888 in the place called Trichy. His parents were Chandrasekhara Iyer and Parvati Ammal. Who were his parents? Chandrasekhara Iyer and Parvati Ammal were his parents. His father, Chandrasekhara Iyer, was a professor of physics at Hindu College, Visakhapatnam. Raman studied there at the Hindu College High School. Okay, and he was very much interested in science. Here Raman was very much interested, means he was like his favorite subject was like science from his boyhood days, means from his childhood days his favorite subject or he was much interested in the subject was science. He also borrowed science books from college students and read them. He used to borrow the science books from the college students, okay, and used to read them, it seems. From his early days, he showed great or much interest in science. From his early days, from his childhood days itself, he used to study more science because he was much liked by that subject. He used to fall sick every now and then. Okay, means here he used to fall sick. Okay, he was not feeling well often. So he was not able to attend the school regularly like other students because he used to fall sick. So he was not able to attend the school regularly as other students. Now let's move on to the next para. The second para is, in spite of his poor health, he got first class in his matriculation examination when he was only a boy of 12. He passed the intermediate examination from Hindu College and joined Presidency College, Madras for his BA. His relatives wanted him to give up science and take history and economics as his special subjects for BA. Since Raman had made up his mind to study science, he took physics. He passed his BA, securing the first rank and a number of prizes. He passed his MA Physics in January 1907. Here, he got first class in matriculation examination, means in his 10th examination he has been secured first class at the age of 12, means when he was only a boy of 12 years. And he also passed the intermediate examination, means PU examination from Hindu College, and he also joined the Presidency College in Madras for his BA, means for his degree. But his relatives wanted him to give up science. Okay, his relatives forced him to give up science and they wanted him to take history and economics as a special subject for BA. But Raman, he wanted to study science, but his relatives here, they wanted him to give up science and his relatives wanted Raman to take history and economics as a special subject for BA. But Raman was totally interested in studying science. So Raman had made up his mind to study science. So he took physics and he passed his BA, securing the first rank and a number of prizes in BA. He has secured first rank in science and he has also received many prizes in BA. And he also passed his MA in physics in January 1907. Okay, he also passed his MA, and in MA the special subject was physics, and he has been passed his MA in January 1907. Now let's see third para. Third para. After his MA, Raman wanted to go to the United Kingdom for higher studies in science. But his health broke down again and he could not go. This was the greatest disappointment in his life. After his MA, after the completion of MA, Raman, he could not go to United Kingdom for his higher studies because of his poor health, because of his ill health, and it was the greatest disappointment for Sir C.V. Raman in his life. His relatives asked him to give up his study of science and take a competitive examination in Calcutta in history and economics. Raman did so and got along well with his new subjects. He got the first place in the competitive examinations and was appointed as the Deputy Accountant General in 1907 at Calcutta. Means here again his relatives advised him to give up study of science. Okay, and they also forced him to take a competitive examination in Calcutta. Competitive exams in Calcutta. That too, the subject was in history and economics. And by doing that also here Raman got the first place in competitive examinations. It was the new subject for him, even though he has been secured first place in that, and he was also appointed as the Deputy Accountant General in 1907 at Calcutta. And his relatives perhaps felt happy to see that Raman had settled down well in life. But Raman was not happy. How could a scientist like Raman put up with the life of a deputy accountant general? He felt like a fish out of water in his new post, but he still had hopes of becoming a scientist and was waiting for an opportunity. Here, all his relatives, they felt very happy because he was appointed as the Deputy Accountant General, isn't it? So his relatives, they felt very happy for Raman. But here Raman was not satisfied. Why? Because he always wanted to be a scientist and he was much like to take up the subject science, isn't it? He was always like to read science. His favorite subject was also science. But here anyhow here his relatives, they felt very happy, but Raman, he was not happy at all, okay, with the life of a deputy accountant general. He felt like a fish out of water in his new post. Means he was not at all comfortable what he was doing. Means his new post means he was the deputy accountant general, isn't it? He was not at all comfortable with that job. Means he was not happy with that new post, but he had still hopes and waiting for an opportunity to become a scientist. Means here he had still hopes of becoming a scientist, and he was also waiting for an opportunity to become a scientist. Next, let's move on to the next para. Even as Deputy Accountant General, Raman mixed with scientists and took interest in science. One day, while returning from his office, he saw a banner outside a building on which was printed the Indian Association of Scientists. Even though he was deputy accountant general, means here Raman, even though as a deputy accountant general, he mixed with scientists and he also he took interest in science. Once while he was returning from his office, Raman, he saw a banner of science on which it was printed as the Indian Association of Scientists. At the sight of that banner, Raman got off the moving train and went to meet the scientists who had gathered in that building. Sometime later, when he was in Rangoon, he learned that an institution had bought a piece of modern scientific apparatus. He hurriedly put on his clothes and went to have a look at it. Such was the interest he had in science. Okay, by seeing that banner, children, by seeing that banner, he got off, means he got down from the moving train. And he also went to meet the scientist who had been gathered in that building. Later on, when he was in Rangoon means it's a city in Myanmar in Burma. Okay, he was in Rangoon and he used to meet scientists who has been gathered and went to the institutions where he could see modern scientific apparatus, means modern scientific equipment. Okay, here he used to meet scientist gatherings and he also went to the institutions where he could see modern scientific apparatus, means equipments. Dear children, now let us stop this chapter here and continue in the next class. Now let me teach you the vocabulary part from your textbook. See, dear children, in your 8th standard textbook, there is a main of vocabulary in page number 22. That is V2 main. Okay, that is homophones. See, dear children, here the pronunciation of the following pairs of words are almost the same, but they differ in meaning. Here, the following words, pairs of words, their pronunciation are almost the same, but they differ in meaning as well as the spellings. Use each word in the pair in meaningful sentences. See, dear children, they are break, break, new, new, sight, sight, some, place, place. Here the sounds as well as the pronunciation and sounds, they are same, isn't it? But here the spellings as well as the meanings, they are different and these are called as homophones. Homophones, they are nothing but they are the words that have the same sound, means the same sound or pronunciation, but different spellings and meanings. But they differ in meanings as well as the spellings. For example, bear and bear, new, new, two means TOO2, TO2, TWO2. BEAR bear, BARE bear. Through, through, THREW through, THROUGH through. Some, SUM, some, etc. See, all these words, they have same pronunciation and sounds, but they have different spellings and different meanings. Here, bear. For example, let us take bear and bear. Here, BEAR, bear means mammal, as as a verb. It also means support or carry as a verb. Okay, bear means as a noun, it means mammal. As a verb, it also means support or carry. Next, B-A-R-E, bear. Bear means it's uncovered or naked. Okay, in this way, each and every word of homophones, they have different meanings and spellings, but the pronunciation and sounds will be the same. Here, by using each of the word in the pair and meaningful, means we should use these following words and we should make a meaningful sentence. For example, let us take new and new, K-N-E-W, new. Okay, she knew what he meant. She knew what he meant. N-E-W, new. My pen is new. Okay, you can do other words as your homework, dear children. And this is about homophones. Homophones means pronunciation will be the same. It means it will be the same, but the meanings and spellings it differs. Pronunciation will be the same, spellings and meanings will be different. That is, homophones are words that have the same sound but different spellings and meanings. Now, let's move on to the next main. This is also in your textbook, and here in the page number 23, that is V3 main, and which is related to phrasal verbs and idioms. Here, fill in the blanks with suitable phrasal verbs or idioms, choosing from the ones given in brackets. Here they have given you all brackets, and you should choose the correct phrasal verbs or idioms, and then you should fill in the blanks. And here the bracket ones are make up, put up with, give up, put on, a fish out of water, make out, break down. Okay, first now let us know what are phrasal verbs. A phrasal verb is a verb that is made up of a main verb together with an adverb or a preposition or both. Okay, here the phrasal verb is nothing but it is a verb. Okay, the verb which is made up of a main verb together with an adverb. It also has an adverb or a preposition, or it may be both. They are called as phrasal verbs. For example, put on or put on or put up. Put on means it has two different meanings. Okay, the first one is to get fat, means I am putting on weight by eating junk food. And the other meaning is when you wear something. When you wear something. For example, put on your dancing shoes. Let's go to party tonight. This is the meaning of put on. Next, give up. Give up means leave or stop or surrender. Give up means leave, means quit or stop. Okay, it is based on activity. Lose hope concerning on someone or something. For example, they gave him up for dead. Gave him up for dead. And the other example, they gave up the search when it got dark. Okay, they gave up the search when it got dark. Next, put up with. Put up with means bear or tolerate. Put up with means here put up with. It means to tolerate or it means to bear. Well, we have too many things to tolerate in this world, isn't it? Okay, where we have to put up with too many things in the world. For example, rude people, it may be traffic, isn't it? The right phrasal verb you can use instead of tolerate is put up with. Okay, we can use, instead of tolerate, we can use phrasal verb, that is put up with. For example, I am so sick of putting up with my friend. In this way, we can use this phrasal verb, put up with. Next, make out. Make out means just be able to understand or see or hear something, and it also means to make progress or manage. Okay, and next, makeup. Makeup means compensate, and it also means use of cosmetics or fabricate, and it also means invent or tell stories, means it all forgiving somebody and become friendly. For example, do you make up every day? Means use of here, use of cosmetics. Makeup means use of cosmetics. Next example, I had to make up a story to cover up for my colleague. Okay, these are few examples for makeup. Next, breakdown. Breakdown means, it also means stop working or stop functioning. And it also means, the other meaning is cease to continue, means fail to continue. And to lose control of emotions in a state of distress. Another meaning for breakdown is separate something into smaller parts. For examples, where we can use breakdown is my washing machine break down. And the other example, she broke down in tears. And the other example is his health broke down. Okay. And these are now I think you people have understood what are phrasal verbs, isn't it? Phrasal verbs is nothing but it is a verb. Phrasal verbs is a verb that which is made up of a main verb together with an adverb or a preposition, or it may be both. Now, idioms. What are idioms? A group of words in a fixed order that have a particular meaning. Okay, the group of words in a fixed order which has a particular meaning that is different from the meanings of each single word on its own. But as a group, they will be having a particular meaning. Okay, and which is different from the meanings of each single words on its own. This is called idioms. For example, in this lesson, you have an example, dear children, that is here, sir, it is in third para. Okay, Sir C.V.RAMAN means he felt like a fish out of water in his new post. Means here, a fish out of water, it is a idiom. It means when you feel uncomfortable in unfamiliar surroundings. Here, a fish out of water means a person who feels uncomfortable or awkward because he or she feels or he or she does not belong to the company which he or she is in. Here a fish out of water. Here there are group of words in a fixed order, isn't it? And which those words have a particular meaning. When that is different from the meanings of each word on its own. Here that is in this, the group of words, it creates a particular meaning. It creates a exact meaning. Where if but here the words are different, isn't it? Means a group of words in a fixed order that have a particular meaning that is totally different from the meanings of each word on its own. Now let's see another example. Okay, raining cats and dogs. Here, raining cats and dogs means it's raining a lot. Means it's raining very heavily. Example, it's raining cats and dogs. Today's good thing I have my umbrella. Means today it is raining a lot. Thank God that I have bought my umbrella. It is an example. Means here we use it's raining cats and dogs today. Means today it's raining cats and dogs. Good thing is I have my umbrella. Means here thank God I have bought my umbrella because it is raining a lot. Next example is hold your horses. It means slow down or stop. Next, storm in a teacup. It means an overreaction to something which is not so important. Okay, dear children. Now you all know what is phrasal verb and what are idioms, isn't it? Now you should do this means as your homeworks. Means that V3 as well as V2. V2 is of homophones. V3 is of phrasal verbs or idioms. Okay, you should do this as your homeworks. Next, let's move on to today's home assignment. Even this do as your homework, children. Answer the following questions. Who were Raman's parents? Who were Raman's parents? And the second question is, why was Raman not able to attend school regularly? And the third question is, where did he complete his intermediate examination? The fourth question, what subjects did his relatives advise him to take for BA? Okay, means when he was doing BA, means when he was taking his degree, which subject his relatives advised him to take? Why could not Raman go to the United Kingdom for higher studies? Okay, dear children, you should do this as your homework. Means you have totally 3 to 4 mains of homeworks in this part. Hope so, dear children, you people have understood the lesson, all the aspects of the lesson, and go through the video, understand, and then do your homeworks. Thank you, children.